All right, folks, let's dive deep into one of the biggest defensive shakeups we've seen in Dallas in quite some time, the news that veteran linebacker C.J. Mosley has signed with the Dallas Cowboys. This move instantly grabbed headlines and stirred up plenty of conversation among NFL insiders, analysts, and, of course, the passionate Cowboy Nation. To understand the significance of this signing, we have to unpack everything that's happening behind the scenes: the Cowboys' linebacker situation, the implications of Mosley's arrival on the roster, what experts think, and how this might change the defensive landscape in Dallas going forward. C.J. Mosley is not just any free agent pickup. He's a seasoned linebacker with a wealth of experience, and he arrives in Dallas at a pivotal moment, especially considering the injury to one of the team's promising young linebackers, DeMarvion Overshown, whose devastating knee injury has left a huge hole in the middle of the defense. Overshown, just emerging as a key defensive figure for Dallas, was expected to take on a significant role this season before the injury, so the Cowboys finding a reliable replacement is crucial. This is where Mosley comes in, bringing a mix of veteran savvy, leadership, and still decent on-field production to a unit that needs stability and experience to stay competitive in a tough NFC East and a league filled with increasingly dynamic offenses. Mosley, once a cornerstone for the Baltimore Ravens defense, has had a career marked by multiple Pro Bowl selections and consistent production both against the run and in pass coverage. Though he's no longer in his prime and has battled injuries in recent seasons, his football IQ and ability to read offenses quickly remain intact. These qualities make him an ideal candidate for a defense like Dallas's, which relies heavily on linebackers to communicate adjustments, make key tackles, and plug holes in both the running and passing games. For Dallas, adding Mosley could be a game-changer in terms of leadership on the field. A linebacker is often the quarterback of the defense, and having someone with Mosley's experience can help elevate younger players who are still finding their footing. This is especially true when you consider that Kenneth Murray and Jack Sanborn, two promising but still developing linebackers, will need to step up but would greatly benefit from a mentor who has seen it all. The Cowboys, known for their win-now mindset under owner Jerry Jones and their current coaching staff, seem to be making a strategic move to plug immediate holes rather than gamble on unproven players. They know the window to contend is open with the roster they have, led by Dak Prescott on offense and defensive stalwarts like Micah Parsons on the edge. Parsons' pass-rushing prowess will be even more effective if the linebacking core behind him can handle responsibilities like run fits and intermediate coverage. Mosley's skill set aligns well with that need. He's a linebacker who can close running lanes, shade blocks, and drop into coverage to disrupt short passes and tight end routes. The Cowboys' defensive scheme, which has been somewhat in flux over the last few seasons, should benefit from Mosley's versatility. His ability to communicate pre-snap reads, call audibles, and shift formations on the fly will likely help Dan Quinn's defensive staff dial up more effective looks against the complex offenses they face weekly. And don't underestimate the value of experience in that role. Young defenders can get overwhelmed trying to process everything, especially in critical moments. Mosley's presence could translate directly to fewer blown coverages and more disciplined tackling, both of which have been weaknesses at times for Dallas. From an expert perspective, analysts who follow NFL linebacker play closely see this signing as a smart, pragmatic addition rather than a flashy headline grab. Some critics will point out that Mosley is no longer the elite, athletic linebacker he once was, given his age and history of injuries. That's a valid concern. Durability is always a question mark with veterans past their physical peak. But Many experts argue that his mental acuity and positional awareness more than compensate, especially in a system where he doesn't have to be the primary pass rusher or the fastest guy on the field. Instead, Mosley's role will be more about being a steady, reliable force who can hold the middle and make the calls that keep the defense in sync. Contract-wise, while the details haven't been publicly disclosed yet, it's reasonable to expect a deal structured to minimize long-term financial risk for Dallas. Veteran linebackers in Mosley's situation often sign short-term contracts with performance incentives and limited guarantees, ensuring that the team can move on if things don't pan out due to injury or declining play. This is a low-risk, potentially high-reward move that gives the Cowboys flexibility to continue developing their younger linebackers without rushing their growth under pressure. Another angle to consider is how Mosley's signing affects the locker room culture. The Cowboys have been building a mix of young talent and seasoned veterans, but leadership has sometimes been cited as a missing ingredient on defense. Bringing in Mosley sends a message to the locker room that the front office is committed to winning and is willing to bring in proven players to stabilize the defense. Fans will likely have mixed reactions. Many will welcome the experience and leadership Mosley brings, while others might worry about his physical limitations and whether this is a short-term patch rather than a long-term solution. From a strategic standpoint, this signing could influence the Cowboys' draft plans as well. With Mosley occupying a starting linebacker role, the team might feel less pressure to invest early draft picks at that position, freeing up resources to bolster the defensive line or secondary areas that also need attention. Of course, if Mosley performs well, that could buy the Cowboys valuable time to groom a successor at linebacker without rushing their development. But if he struggles with injuries or doesn't fit as expected, Dallas might have to pivot mid-season or double down in the draft, which could complicate roster management. The bigger picture here is that this signing highlights the challenges NFL teams face in balancing youth and experience, risk and reward, short-term needs, and long-term plans. The linebacker position is often a linchpin in a defense's success, and losing a promising player like overshown forced Dallas's hand. Signing Mosley is a calculated move to keep the defense competitive now while buying time to develop the next generation. In terms of how this will impact game day, Mosley's presence should improve the Cowboys' run defense immediately. Teams love to test weaknesses in the middle linebacker position with power runs, play action passes, and short crossing routes. Having a veteran like Mosley patrolling that area means fewer missed tackles and better run fits. It also means defensive coordinators can dial up more complex blitz packages, knowing that Mosley can handle the responsibilities left behind. For Micah Parsons and the Cowboys' pass rushers, this is huge. When the middle linebacker can cover well and communicate effectively, edge rushers can focus on getting to the quarterback without worrying as much about leaks in the middle. That dynamic could help the Cowboys' defense improve its pass rush efficiency and reduce big plays allowed. On the flip side, the question remains how Mosley's speed and range hold up against faster tight ends and running backs who challenge linebackers in coverage. For fans and analysts watching closely, the narrative will unfold over the coming weeks and months. Does Mosley return to form and become the steadying force Dallas hopes for? Or does age and injury catch up with him? Does this signing help the Cowboys close the gap with NFC powerhouses and make a deeper playoff push? Or is it just a temporary band-aid on a defense still searching for its identity? Only time will tell, but one thing is clear: the Cowboys aren't standing still. By bringing in a proven linebacker like C.J. Mosley, they're signaling a commitment to shoring up the defense and making a serious push in 2025. Whether it pays off or not, this is a move worth paying close attention to as the season unfolds. So what do you think? Is this the missing piece the Cowboys needed, or just a stopgap move? How do you see Mosley fitting into the defense, alongside stars like Micah Parsons and the rest of the linebacker room? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear your take. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and ring the notification bell so you never miss the latest updates from Cowboy Nation and NFL news. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video with more analysis and breaking stories. Keep those Cowboys hats ready, because 2025 is shaping up to be an exciting year in Big D.